What is up, everybody?
We're the ANIME-Niacs, and it's that time again. It's episode 4 of our show. Guys, we're so...
We're going...
It's exciting.
It is exciting.
4 episodes.
Yes, it's like we're professionals.
I think we are.
I think we already are professionals.
I think we're professionals.
Yeah.
But today we're going to be talking about One Piece, and not just any One Piece.
The One Piece.
The famous One Piece that you all know and love. But we're not going to talk about just anything in One Piece.
No, we're not.
We're going to talk about the arcs that I've seen, and we're going to kind of rate them, review them, just, I'm not too far in the show, so it's going to be some early arcs, kind of see how I feel, what you guys thought about them now.
Test our memory.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
It's been a while,
It's
yeah.
been a while.
But, I mean, the first arc is Romance Dawn. It's like, what did you guys feel about it? How did you guys think, like, One Piece starts, what did you guys think? And then I'll tell you how I felt, because, I'm so new with it, so.
Okay.
Take it away, Kinston.
Alright, I'm not gonna lie. One Piece, it does have a nice start to it. Personally, I like Naruto's start better, but I like One Piece alone better. But,
kind of comparing the two arcs.
Yeah, it's definitely, like, something, though, that, like actually gives you, like, a nice introduction to, like, alright, this is gonna be, like, about pirates, like, an adventure, like, fun, like, little thing. So, like, just from the beginning, you already know what's going on. And it's one of those shows that, like, we were talking about last episode, like, from the beginning, you can kind of see if you like it or not, instead of, like, having to watch, like, halfway through and be like, okay, I finally like this.
Yeah.
That's what I do like about it, and, yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, obviously, Romance Dawn, it all starts with a boy in a barrel getting pulled into a pirate ship because they thought they found something worthwhile, and
some treasure.
Turns out
it
was Luffy, the main character of One Piece, and I think what really made me fall in love with One Piece was Luffy himself. He's my favorite main character, and during those first few episodes, I really grew attached to him immediately. I loved how goofy he was, how stupid he was, how straightforward he was.
That is one thing I will say about Luffy that's unmatched, is how I remember, like, seeing the first arcs. It was like, I remember Nami and all them would get mad at him because he would say what he was thinking every single time.
Right.
Like, no matter if it was weird or if it was, like, controversial, or you can't say that, he would say it and they'd be like, what are you doing? And he's like, I'm just saying, like, I didn't say anything bad. So that was always great about Luffy. Luffy's the best.
Like, a misconception about Luffy too is that he's actually really emotionally mature.
Very.
Like, in Romance Dawn with Kobe, like, Kobe was, stuck on that ship as, like, a little like, cleaning boy or for Alvida or whatever. But when he was talking to Luffy was like, man, you're such an idiot. Why are you still here?
Yeah.
Like, I hate you because you're not doing anything about this. And eventually, Kobe grew a spine,
Yeah, I think
got out of there.
Luffy really showed him that, you have this bad image of pirates, and I'm a pirate, but I'm not that thing. I'm not like all the bad guys that you've seen, and I'm not really the reason that you're going to want to become a Marine. I'm a pirate, but this is what I'm trying to do, and you think I'm going to do this, but I'm not. It's really cool.
It's like introducing that not all pirates are, like, bad or, like, trying to steal your money.
Exactly.
Like that.
Exactly.
When everybody already, like, kind of assumes that from the start.
Yeah. And me personally, I really like Romance Dawn. It's the start to everything.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not there. We can all agree that there's better arcs in it, obviously.
Yeah. 100%.
But it sets the tone. It has some really good world building, and it's really character driven. You kind of get to know Luffy, his dreams, his aspirations, why he wants to do this, how he's going to do it, and it's cool. It's a great arc. Honestly, it's good. It's Romance Dawn. Come on.
Yeah.
But the next arc, Orange Town. Now, this one, for me, out of all of the arcs I've seen so far, is my least favorite.
Why is that?
Okay.
So, Buggy is one of my favorite characters. Love Buggy with all my heart. He's awesome, great character. He was, whenever I first read the manga, and I haven't fully read the manga, but I, like, got into One Piece by reading it. he was the first character that I really like fell in love with. Love Buggy, but I mean, it was okay. We're still good. Like, it wasn't boring or like anything going on. But with the art, like when I first saw it, I was like, this is awesome. But going kind of further down the road and seeing other arcs, you can see, you know, it's not the best. I didn't necessarily like how they had Luffy in the prison, like the little cage half the time. I kind of wanted to see him in action, but it did make me, whenever I did see him in action, it made that moment a little special. But yeah, I think usually it goes in between Syrup Village and Orangetown of like who people debate is kind of like what they're in the first saga of One Piece kind of be their least favorite. But for me, I just fell into Orangetown. Love the dog, love everything. It was just, there's better arcs than it that I've seen it.
I do like how they like did show like more devil fruit powers, like Buggy the Clown.
Yeah. That it introduces that it's a lot bigger than we think. Like it's not just Luffy and a couple other people that have it. It's like it's a big thing. Yeah. So I like that a lot about it.
I kind of disagree with you in the sense that you're saying that it's just okay, and this is coming from someone who's watched over One Piece a couple times. Looking back on Orangetown, it's better than what I think people remember it being, because I think it introduces so many elements into the world that when you look back at it later, you really appreciate it. Like, thinking back on it now, Buggy, his devil fruit power was the opposite of Luffy's. Luffy's a rubber guy. People shoot bullets at him, it goes through, but people cut him with swords, and it he bleeds. With Buggy, you shoot him, he bleeds. You cut him with swords, he chops. He's a
That's
chop
actually
man.
a really good point. I didn't think about that.
Right.
I like that.
They were opposites, and there's that history between Buggy and Shanks.
That was one of the best parts, I think, of seeing that flashback of Shanks and Buggy and like how Buggy got his devil fruit powers. That was awesome. I remember seeing that and like, oh my gosh, I love that.
Right.
It's still like I said, great
it's history. And then once you see more like of that stuff later, like you're gonna go, wow. It's so cool that we saw an introduction to that way back in the beginning. And also, I think Orangetown does really well with kind of learning more about the characters of Luffy and Zoro. Because, as you said, Luffy was in the prison most of the time, but I think that was to kind of give Zoro the spotlight so we can learn more about him. He showcased his loyalty to Luffy a day after meeting him, pretty much getting stabbed for him, not once but twice. And then you learn about Luffy and how much he treasures his hat. Yeah. Shows his deep connection.
Incredible. Incredible part. Yeah. See, I still love the arc. It's just, I think, the arcs that I've seen at least, I liked a little more. If I had to rate the arc on like a scale of, let's say like A, B, C, D, I'd say it's probably in low B. Okay. For me at least. Still an incredible arc, don't get me wrong. It's just the ones I've seen so far, I just liked a little more. That's it. I would maybe say it's above. I would dare say it's a little bit above Romance Dawn. I don't know. It might be. We need to actually do a video where we have like the tier list of it, because that would help me visualize it more. Because it's so hard. Like, okay, this is A, this is B, but we'll do that sometime. Get ready for that.
But they did also introduce like Nami then. That was like the first we got to see.
That was
Nami.
Whenever we really saw Nami, and at first I did not like her.
No, I know what you mean.
I don't think many people liked her at the beginning, because my sister definitely didn't.
Yeah, I just didn't like her, and I don't know. She's great now.
Right.
After Arlong Park, love her.
100%.
It's just at that point, I guess we just didn't know a lot about her, and she still had that like thief aspect of her, and she still does, but we didn't know why she did. Why. Now we do, so that helped. But that was Orangetown. Now we have Syrup Village. What do you guys think about this one? Because I feel like it's vary between Orangetown and Syrup Village for a lot of people of what they think. Like, most people like Syrup Village is one of the most boring arcs to them, at least. So what do you think?
Really think it was boring, but I didn't think it was really like that entertaining. I thought it was like in the middle. But I did like how like they introduced like Usopp. That was
I loved Usopp.
Yeah, so Syrup Village, maybe not the most action-packed arc, but I think they introduced probably one of my favorite Straw Hats.
Mm-hmm.
Because Usopp is... a lot of people bring hate on him, but
I know.
the reason
the
reason I think he's one of the best, if not the best Straw Hat member, is because he's the most like us, the most human, the most human guy. Of course, he's a coward. Yeah. Of course, he's gonna run away. He's just a guy.
He's just a guy.
He's a guy.
That's what I like about him. Remember whenever he would do the whole, I am the brave Captain Usopp with my army of 8,000 men. Loved that because he was trying so hard to show bravery and show being courageous. But if they fell for the 8,000 army thing, then he's good. Right. But if they didn't, then that was where it was game over for him.
One of my favorite Usopp lines, and you haven't heard it yet, so I won't give the context of it. But my favorite Usopp line is, "This is how I fight," and it was during Water 7.
I know what you mean.
If you know what I mean. Yeah. Because the guy, he doesn't fight very, you know, straightforwardly. Like he tricks people. He
does a lot of that in Arlong Park.
He pulls out some like goofy tools, like the 10-ton hammer. You know, like
I remember that. He was making siracha bombs.
He's making siracha bombs.
I love that so much.
You don't fight like that, but that's his way of fighting.
That's his way.
That's how he does it.
Yeah.
I completely forgot about that.
Dude,
it's
a hard line.
It is.
But yeah, I liked Syrup Village. It was like you said. It wasn't as action packed. I really liked Usopp, so I like to see him having to deal with being the boy who cries wolf to his village for a long time, and kind of see, the final moments in the arc where he's talking to the 3 kids, and he's like, "This is where, like, what's your dream? What's your dream? What's your dream? Go do it. Promise me that you're gonna do it." I was getting emotional during that. I was like, "Whoa," because the entire arc, Usopp is the underdog. Yeah. And then seeing him almost step up for these kids and like be like, I'm gonna be brave for you. It was awesome. So Syrup Village to me, I liked it a lot. It wasn't anything special, but still, and Kaido, not Kaido. Kaido, no, I'm not there yet. He went to
the final boss.
Yeah, he already knows everything.
Kuro and Django, the hypnotist.
Yeah, you go hypnotize
3, 2, Django. Love that guy. So I was going to the final boss. We were talking about Kaido before we filmed this. So Kaido and Kuro. So yeah, I'm not there yet. I have quite a way to go, but yeah, I liked the villains. Thought they were cool.
Yeah, I think Kuro's an underrated villain.
I do.
Like,
he has the swords for
he's got his finger swords. I think he's cool because like he has been a pirate for a long time, so he's been around, but obviously no match for
And
Luffy.
he was like evil too.
He was an evil guy.
He was like, I've only been around for 3 years, and I made you think I was your friend,
right?
Just to like get your
Yeah, that's messed up.
Dang. And she was like, no, you can still change. And he's like, no, I loved doing all of it, but it completely stripped me of all like dignity I had. And then he's like, but I'm going to go back to being a pirate and I'm going to kill you for it.
Yeah.
That was like, whoa, this guy's really evil. Like, really evil. And then Django hypnotizing himself every single time.
He's
Love
funny.
that guy. It was great.
But no, what I liked about that is back then I was like, oh wow, this person's actually like really, really strong. Like that was like the first person who I met who I actually thought was like generally strong. Yeah,
it was the first time where we saw at least the Straw Hat members really have a fight. And I mean, and they obviously they go through a lot more stuff, but it was the first time where I even saw Zoro be like, oh crap.
Yeah, because he actually
like that was like dang. So it was really cool to see them like struggle, like really go through a struggle for the first time. And I mean, they kind of go through that a little bit in our next arc, which is Baratie.
Yes, sir.
There's some I love
Baratie. Really good.
I love Baratie so
really
much, dude.
Because
Sanji right now is my favorite character.
Sanji is really good.
I also love Zoro and Luffy, but there's just and I love them all, but there's just I like Sanji a lot, and I think the line that he said with Redfoot, where he was like, it doesn't matter if you're a bad guy or a good guy. If you come into this restaurant and you're hungry, you're gonna get fed. Love that. Like really cool to think about, and Don Krieg, one of the first big villains that you see. Awesome. like so cool. And I remember it went to be continued, and it was like the next episode was him releasing the gas with everyone. Love that. Mihawk. Zoro versus Mihawk.
Mihawk's introduction, cutting that ship in half.
Dude, incredible.
Insane.
On the small little like boat.
In the distance, you just see the cross, and then he gets closer and he has his legs crossed, and he's just sitting there, and you're like, oh, this guy seems cool. But he's like a small boat.
Yeah.
And then he sits there and you realize that's the sword.
He's got that huge sword, and you can just
makes you realize how big that world is.
Yeah.
How strong people are out there.
It's,
Zoro's pledge to never lose again.
Yeah.
Wonderful moment.
Full of just great moments. It's my second favorite arc right now. And the next arc is my favorite. Arlong Park.
There's a lot to talk about.
This was the early, I feel like for a lot of people, and I said this in one of the other podcasts or episodes, that Arlong Park should be the test for people. Where if you have really disliked One Piece so far and you get to Arlong Park and you're like, I'm not feeling it, try to keep going, but it's going to be a little difficult because what you've seen so far is like, that's One Piece, the show. Mm-hmm. Like, that's really what it is. And so, I mean, Arlong Park's my favorite. Why do you guys like or dislike Arlong Park?
I like it because that's when we get to see, like, Nami's side of everything. We get to like take a peek into like Nami's
turns
life.
A character that pretty much everyone really disliked into someone who you're like, oh my gosh, she like went through it.
Yeah,
went through it, man.
You get to actually see like why she is how she is, and then along with that, you get to see like where she came from. And like I didn't know she had a sister. Like you didn't know she had a sister.
Here. Didn't know it, and then
her sister. Her sister.
Yeah. I wish I knew the inside joke. I'll get there someday.
No, there's no. She's just like. She's
just really. I got you. But yeah, her sister, and then obviously she has her mom, Bella. Isn't it Bellamere?
Bellamere. Yeah.
Bellamere. That whole storyline of her being a Marine,
absolutely heartbreaking,
and then kind of wanting to be a mother. I sent you the video on TikTok of that guy, the like meme they did of that.
Yeah,
it's like so disheartening because Arlong is so far the best villain.
Right.
We even, like I said, described this in another episode of him just being so like, I am better than you because God made me that way. Because I'm a fisherman. Like crazy stuff to think about.
Sets up a huge like problem of, their world, kind of that difference between classes and race.
Yeah, and that I also love how One Piece goes into like some political stuff that it's not really in your face, which I like, but it's also if you're someone who's smart, you'll catch it. And I think Arlong Park was the first arc where I was like, man, this is getting deep. And obviously we get Johnny and what's his Yosaku?
Yaso?
I can't
something
remember.
like that.
It's two of Zoro's friends, they're bounty hunter friends.
Right.
Love them.
Oh, I almost forgot about
it's
that.
The first time. Remember whenever Luffy, one of them is injured, and Luffy's like, just put some lime in his mouth and he'll be fine. That's like the best.
That's when they realized like we need a doctor. We need to get a doctor.
We need to get one quick.
We had to ship.
It was great. Loved this. There was so many iconic scenes
in
it. Obviously, we have Usopp running away from one of the fishermen the entire time, almost the
time.
entire time.
And then he beats him.
And then that's the point where he's like, you know what? Maybe I do have it.
Yeah.
Maybe I have it in me to like really do this. Love that part. Great part. What are some other iconic moments during this? Obviously the big cow, the whale. Yeah, I love that. Was hilarious.
I mean, I think the biggest moment probably Nami asking for help.
Yes, and
throughout the
Luffy
whole
putting a straw
when he put the hat on her.
Throughout the whole arc, Nami was stubborn, saying like she didn't want to ask for help.
Yep.
This was her own problem that she like put a burden on herself like her whole life as a child. And eventually she asked for help. Luffy gave her his treasure and said, "Of course." And that's another moment where I just like fell in love with Luffy because
that's so like that straw hat is his treasure,
and he's not gonna help unless you ask for help.
Yeah,
and he's always ready to help.
Yep. Like, and when he does it, he's like, you know what? here's my straw hat.
Boys, let's
I'm
go.
And then the iconic
the
walk of all of them walking towards Arlong Park.
Mm-hmm.
Sanji has a cigarette, and he sits there and...
They're all just back there already just...
It's incredible.
One Piece is the master of build-up.
I love it.
Anyone who isn't, like, a One Piece community member, like, they will never understand, like... walking.
Yeah,
that sounds stupid.
And also the shadows of whenever Luffy gets like mad, they have the shadows over his eyes, so you can't see it, and you're like,
but you know,
you know, he's pissed. Like it's about to go down. It's about to go crazy.
I like it when he has his hat, like his hat.
His hat, his hat like that.
You know he's getting serious.
That's what he knows, kid. Yeah.
Yeah, Arlong Park, my favorite arc so far.
Mm-hmm.
It's great.
It's a staple of One Piece.
It's great. But then we have the next arc, which I like.
Arlong Park, the end of Arlong Park.
Oh,
the new tattoo.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Tattoo.
Yes.
It's a tangerine and pinwheel.
Yep.
Yeah, awesome.
I think the final shot of Arlong Park where it's Belmir's grave and it has the pinwheel and then the one tangerine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I actually got teary-eyed.
Yeah.
Nami's backstory is one of the saddest ones.
It's so good. And it was the perfect end to like the perfect arc.
Yeah,
loved it.
No, but I almost forgot. Like I remember, like her whole village, they knew why she was doing it. Like,
yeah.
for Arlong.
Remember, she was like, I've been doing it because of this, and they were like, yeah, we know. Like we've known this for a while.
Yeah,
loved that. And her village was just great. And then what was the one dude? I can't remember his name. He had the pinwheel on his hat and had all the cuts from whenever he had defended. Yeah, he had defended Nami in. One time, I think it was against Arlong's pirate. Yeah, Arlong cut him up, and he had a bunch of stitches all over his body. That was really cool. But then after Arlong Park, we set sail once more, and we go to Loguetown.
That arc has a really awesome moment. Not one of my favorite. Not that it's not one of my favorites, but it's not my favorite moment. But
I think I know
the execution.
Yeah.
It was
awesome.
It's so crazy because. Lightning striking a rubber boy.
Iconic.
Of course he's fine because he's made of rubber, but
then you realize
gets struck by lightning as they're getting executed.
And I love that Smoker even talks about it because I love Smoker, and then there's Daddy the parent having the 30 guns with him in his trench coat. Love that. But the moment where Smoker's like, "How is this happening to him?"
Right.
These are coincidences
like before he's about to get
happening.
sliced, he goes, he's smiling just like Roger.
Yeah.
Just like Roger.
It's awesome. You have the execution stand. You get to have some more Roger backstory, all that stuff, and seeing Smoker when he was a kid, awesome stuff. But then, obviously, you get the man in the coat that we don't know who he is yet.
Oh, I know who it is.
Yeah,
I know.
We know who he is.
I'm so
you don't know
I
yet.
want to know so badly because he's the reason that this is all happening with him.
Mm-hmm.
So, honestly, it's just a great arc. Love it so much. There's a lot of good stuff. I'm now on the Apis arc with the Millennial Dragon Warship Island. About to get done with that, then I'm heading into Reverse Mountain. I'm excited about it.
Fun stuff coming up.
Yeah.
We'll
be doing another episode, kind of just talk as we go down the road, talk about the arcs.
We'll keep going.
So we're excited about this, but that's going to be all for today's episode. Stay tuned for the next episode. We're going to be doing some Attack on Titan content soon because we're getting closer and closer to the final part, and we're going to get some Chainsaw Man and Bleach reaction videos.
Yes, sir.
We got a lot of stuff coming to the channel. Get ready. It's about to go crazy. And thank you guys for all the support. We have a lot of stuff coming. So, until next time, everyone, go watch some anime.
Go watch some anime.
Peace out, friends.
Peace.
Peace out. ANIME-Niacs.
ANIME-Niacs.
Yeah.